Hello and welcome back, children. This is Mr. Muzaffar presenting before you the ninth topic of your supplementary reader. The name of the topic is A Tiger in the House. My dear children, I have divided this chapter into two parts. One part I have already discussed with you. Today I am going to teach you the second and final part of this chapter. Let me remind you the previous knowledge. My dear children, this story, as I have told you, this is written by a famous Indian writer, namely Ruskin Bond. And the story that I am going to teach you today is about a pet tiger. Is about a pet tiger, Timothy. Is about a pet tiger, Timothy. My dear children, grandfather, he was fond of buying wild creatures. One day he bought a monkey and then he bought puppy. But his wife, grandmother of a Ruskin Bond, were not happy. She was not happy with these wild animals. She wasn't happy with these creatures. She used to tell her husband, "Don't buy these creatures to home." Okay, one day one day grandfather, he went to a forest, Dera, now called Dehradun. He went to a forest. Therefrom he found a tiger cub. Therefrom he found a tiger cub in the jungle of Dehradun. But grandmother cured him, bought him as his own child, and later they named his Timothy. Later they named his Timothy. And my dear children, as I told you that they found Timothy and they had a waiter. They had a waiter Mahmoud. They had a waiter Mahmoud. Mahmoud used to feed milk. Mahmoud used to provide him a milk every day. He used to feed milk to Timothy. And later this Timothy, he made friends. He made friends, to Monkey and Poppy. He made them his friends, my dear children. You know, he made him friends. Now they were carrying him. They were carrying him at his home. They were carrying him at his home. And now, when he got 6 months old, he grew less friendly, my dear children, and now he starts become more dangerous. Grandfather decided to transfer Timothy to a zoo in a special reserved compartment. My dear children, he took Timothy to Lucknow. He took to him Lucknow. After 6 months, grandmother used to tell Mahmoud that he used to tell Mahmoud that one day he will surely kill you. And tiger, now they start observing his real instincts. Now they start observing his real instincts. They had, their hands, their hands, their hand. It was, one day he eat one hand. One day he eat one hand, and it was an alarming. It was an alarming for them. Tiger is a wild animal. They are discussing each other that tiger is a dangerous animal because one day he ate. One day he ate their. He ate their hen. Now they realized that tiger is a wild animal. My dear children, grandmother predicted that one day surely this tiger will kill Mahmoud. Grandfather, and he took to him to a zoo. He took to him a zoo, and after a long time, the administration of a zoo got happy. They got a tiger. And that too in a good mood. Okay, my dear children. Now after 6 months, he has to go somewhere in his area. Then he decided to go to the go to zoo, and then he decided to go to zoo, my dear children. He saw a Timothy on a corner. And once he reached there, and he called him. Grandfather called him Timothy, and Timothy came near to him. Timothy came near to him, and he put his hand inside the cage, my dear children. And then he start softly shaking his head, and then he licked his hands, my dear children. He licked his hands, my dear children. And then the zookeeper, he got astonished that how come he is very close to him. And later there was one more besides him, beside us, that cage, there was a leopard. Leopard used to cry. And this grandfather thought that he's fearing of this. And this show sorry, my dear children, this zookeeper came and told him that this is not your Timothy. We have got him 2 days ago. But how good you are that you felt very close to him. But he did not thought that his Timothy had died. He told him that Timothy has died 2 months ago. 2 months ago, he had a pneumonia disease. But he did not agree that his Timothy had died. Thank you, and have a good day, my dear children.